All right, if I wanted to rationalize this, this is the one that you guys are familiar with, right? You guys have seen something like this more commonly. So when you rationalize, you multiply by the same radical, square root, the same base, 3, and you need your total number of bases to equal the index in order to rationalize it. So here our unwritten index is a 2. So we need a total of 2 base 3s. We have 1 to start with, so how many more do we need to get a total of 2? 1. So that's how we choose 3 to the first for this. So when we rationalize, we multiply across. We get 1 times the square root of 3. And then in the bottom, we just get that base removed. Now, what happens, though, if we're doing cube roots? And so if we're doing cube roots, the entire directions that I give should be exactly the same. When you rationalize, you take the same index, so it's a cube root. Take the same base, it's a 3. We need our total number of bases to equal the index, which in this case is 3. How many 3s do we have to start with? So how many more do we need? 2. And so that's how you choose that as your number. Now again, multiply across. You get the cube root of 3 squared, which is 9, all over 3. So that's what we did up here. We had the cube root of x. And so when we rationalize, we take the cube root, same base x. But we need a total of 3. We have 1 to start with, so we needed 2 more in order for those to cancel. Olivia, question? Lauren.
So outside of the equation we have 3, but there's 4 now?
Wait. No, you're not. Don't count the index. Is that what you're thinking? Okay, let me do two more examples here really quickly. Okay, so let's do the cube root of 5. Okay, so if you needed to rationalize this, you're going to multiply by the same index, which is cube root, the same base, which is a 5. How many total 5s do you need in order to cancel your index of 3? You need a total of 3. How many do you have to start with? Just 5 to the first, right? So how many more do you need to get that total of 3? 2. So that's how you choose that.
But now there's 2 on the top.
Well, the top just has to mirror the bottom because we're multiplying by 1 so that we don't change the value. We're only changing the form of it.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so let me go through, just since you brought this up, let me go through something like this. Okay, there is a possibility that you'll see something kind of in this form. In this form, it's not simplified completely because what do you notice about 25? It's a perfect power, right? So before we rationalize, think of that in terms of its perfect power. 25 is 5 squared. So now when you choose to rationalize, same rule, choose the same index, root 3, or the cube root. You choose the same base, 5. But now you need your total number of bases to be the index, 3. We had 2 to start with, so how many more do we need? Just the 1. So now you multiply across the top, cube root of 5. Across the bottom, it's going to cancel, leaving just that base. Does that kind of make sense? Okay. You'll probably use